Yo, them bumbuckler taxi man are not easy, you know. Brother, when I get from bad to worse, you know. Look when man up on the car, man. Blood clot, no Rosealee. You couldn't just say no fat chicks and done. No Rosealee to blood.
Bless up to everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Them finna see a DW and they upon them with a fresh one.
Let me tell you, blood clot. Kill the pussy wall out there, yeah? Me for you no gunshot out there. Don't fuck. Don't fuck with yourself, yeah? Now no don't let her calicut start and say big blood clot spread out of me. Gunshot. You hear me tell you? Don't fuck with yourself. You hear me tell you? Don't fuck.
Some people, please to leave on the thoughts on that video. We wanna just watch. Make me know wanna think about the whole incident and how mama badness turn of you. See me, mama thing me lily. But anyways, me have to apologize for the absent. You know, don't know say your work have me a way more while. See me. But now me there, so we are gonna kick off things like this. But before we kick it off, just quickly leave a like on the video because you know say it help a lot. Share the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new and turn on bell notification to get notified upon every time a new fresh upload drop, you see me?
Boy.
Hold on, me give you some light.
Hey, relax yourself.
Relax yourself.
No,
You don't want no light.
Make sure you have video, yeah? Make sure you have video. Good.
Hey, you lucky as fuck. Yo, Mayo, listen. You said you lucky as fuck.
Yeah, man, come on to the thing in your hand. Come on to the thing in your hand.
Put this on the video, yeah?
Yeah, man.
Put it on the video. Put it on the video. That me I tell you. Yeah, from video. That me I tell you.
Yeah, man. Send that out.
And for my safety and whatever. We not say no. We keep that video.
Hey, you're not obligated for sure them nothing, man. Them good, man.
Just as say ignorance in our work. And that's how it is.
Make nice for that now.
That's all.
Some people there wanna have it, the police them at work. Me really can't give no much story on the incident still, but as soon as me find out more about it, me make una know what go on, you see me? How we're moving on, my people, we're moving on. Because you know say, yo, me see that video here with that hombre and that hombre burn out JDF and the police force, and I mean, my people, he might bring up some points and he might hit some views. You have to check out what he must say and make me know what you think in the comments, you see me?
So, I'm gonna use 3 instances that's very vivid to my memory as to why I think this statement from the Jamaica Constabulary Force, in particular, the Commissioner of Police, I'm going to tell you why I think that this statement should get you fired immediately. A lot of you people who are in the public offices keeps forgetting that you work for us, the people. With no taxes paid, your salaries are nothing. We are not paying you to murder us. We're paying you for you to protect us. And you've sworn an oath to serve and to protect. All right. Now, in Westmoreland, 2024, I believe, there was a young man who was in his house. His grandmother, if my memory serves me correct, was actually sitting on the veranda. Police came to the house. The young man came down, opened the grill of the house, and the police brought him in the back of the house, inside a room in the house, and he was executed. And they dragged the body of this young man past the grandmother on the veranda and took it away. Yeah, true. Jamaica police. And everybody just took the police word that this young man pulled a firearm on them. There's a young man who I believe is autistic, in St. Thomas. I think it was 11 miles, either 11 miles or 9 miles. The people who know of this story will actually tell me in the comments. I was on scene. I was there after the fact because I was in Clarendon, and when I heard the citizens lamenting over the fact that this young man was autistic, and the police came into the community in masks, private vehicle, white plate, did not take out their police vests until after they had fired on an autistic young man, and they watched him bleed out as much as possible in a gutter or trench, an open trench. Yeah? This happened in 11 miles. I have it on my video. You can scroll down, I think one where I'm wearing a red coat over a blue and multi something shirt. You can check that video. It's right there on my page. Right? The Commissioner of Police have not yet come out to say anything about that killing. Now we are more than 225. More than 225 persons have been murdered by the police force in Jamaica for 2025. 179, I think, for 2024. And 155 for 2023. So we've been asking for body-worn cameras, especially for the last instance, which is with Jamar Ferguson from Cherry Tree Lane in Clarendon. For those of you who are not familiar with the story, the Jamaican constabulary force comprised of 23-member squad. 23 went to a house to carry out a warrant. That house and that person's name is not on the warrant, but they went to that house for whatever reason. The young man, there's video evidence where the young man came out, opened the door, gladly went to the door, gladly, broad daylight, ran to the police, opened the door, and of course, they moved him to the side based on what the video was showing, came inside the house, looked around, brought him back into the house. And of course, in the room, you can still see the bullet holes in the corner of a wall, because the police report would have it that this young man pulled a firearm at 23 police officers in his house. The same young man who ran to the door to let in the police officers because he saw them on the video. Yeah? We don't know, out of the 225 that have been murdered since the start of this year, who residents been claiming police murder, and then citizens in the country saying, a lie you don't tell, I believe the police, kill all the insects, all of them are criminals. And we assume that for 225 persons murdered by the police, thank God for Jamar Ferguson's house that showed the kind of police force that we have in Jamaica. Yeah? Now, I do not support criminal elements. I do not support criminal elements. And I believe that if you are guilty and the police accost you, that you should have a right to be arrested lawfully and be brought in lawfully, legally, to a judge and allow the judge to do that. But it's very difficult when the police have options. They got 2 options from the Prime Minister of the country, and they got another barbaric option from the Minister of National Security. The Minister of National Security says, shoot first and then ask questions. And he's still the Minister of National Security because Jamaicans vote for that piece of shit to still sit in the office. Yeah? Then you have the Prime Minister. Yeah? The Doctor, the Honorable Mr. Andrew Michael Holness, the Green Clerks Prime Minister, Government Badness, Brogad, 1 p.m., and all the titles that you can give to him. Yeah? That he's so well, the best Prime Minister of Jamaica. That's what some of the very dunce ones have referred to him as. Now, this Prime Minister has been going around with one common cliched statement. They must either meet a judge, meaning the citizens. This is a directive to the citizens and, of course, to the police officers who sit by with M16 rifles, submachine guns, automatic weapons. Sit there. What did you say, my Prime Minister? They must meet a judge or, operative word. The operative word is or, their maker. And for those of you who don't know, in Jamaica, when we say you should meet your maker, it's a terminology that means you should go and meet the Creator, God. Meaning you should die. The Prime Minister of Jamaica. And I haven't heard no leaders in the Caribbean and the United Nations, who we just completed a very atrocious speech at the United Nations talking about Haiti and how Haiti is destabilized and the gang violence there and stuff, as if Jamaica is any better with you as Prime Minister and your criminal elements that is by your side. Now this statement by the Jamaica Constabulary Force that is saying, yeah, that they will not allow external groups to dictate how it deploys body-worn cameras. You need to come out. Body cameras must be worn, and telling us that you have 1,000 body-worn cameras to be shipped to Jamaica. Is 14,000 police there? Where are you going with 1,000 cameras? We need 14,000. Find the money and equip them so that we can protect the citizens. You pieces of shit. We will be dictated to. We pay you. Me Marvin Edgar tell you that. Drunkro.
Some people make me know what to think in the comments about that, you see me? And we're moving right on and closing things off with this because basically the Barbados Prime Minister have a big problem with Andrew Holness. Some people want to check it out and make me know what to think about that as well.
The world has been unprepared. Financial crisis that started in 2008, which then triggered fiscal crises across many of the world's countries. And if that was not enough, a social crisis characterized by rising inequality with the consequences thereto, be it substance abuse, mental health challenges, homelessness, or human trafficking. Then there was a global pandemic lasting 2 to 3 years and taking the lives of millions of people. And for those surviving, they had restricted movement and restricted choices. All of this, my friends, has been exacerbated by the spreading of fake news. This distorts reality and threatens the stability of our societies, creating a platform for hate to thrive and prejudice to rise. But deeper than all of these crises is a bigger, more insidious crisis that is undermining our domestic and global institutions that have promoted order, peace, and prosperity. It is, my friends, the crisis of truth. Excellencies, when we lose shared truth, our communities, our countries, our global society loses their center of gravity. At first, the damage may seem quiet. Words bend and facts drift in the service of political point scoring. But slowly, over time, we descend into political tribalism. We develop alternative realities and we are unable to understand each other and communicate with each other because we lack a center. Then we grow suspicious of each other. In the absence of truth, trust deteriorates. And we see it all around us, in global forums, and indeed on the blocks and in the communities in our own countries. Trust between neighbors, trust between the governed and the governing, trust in our instructions, trust in our social order, trust in our health systems, trust in our global rules, governance structures. It all seems, in the words of Chinua Achebe, to be falling apart. When we lack truth and we lack trust, law becomes theater, news becomes spectacle, and science becomes just another opinion. As I've had cause to say in this great hall on a few times, our world today worryingly resembles the world of 100 years ago. And this has become even more evident with the closing of our borders to both goods and to people. This has magnified the geopolitical tensions which had already taken root. Disturbingly, war regrettably has only entered the daily lexicon of the West, not when thousands were dying on the continent of Africa or in Myanmar, but when war came to Europe. Nevertheless, we still call for peace in the Ukraine. Only yesterday, a leading British newspaper reminded us that for 500 days, 260,000 people, virtually the population of my country, 260,000 people have been trapped in the Sudanese city of El Fasher. The article reported that while political progress stalls, those who attempt to escape are killed, and those who remain inside are starved. The world must not ignore the horror in Sudan. And of course, I don't need to remind you that it must not ignore the horror in Gaza. The genocidal destruction taking place in both places must now have our full attention.
Big up yourself if you made it this far in the video. You know that you are highly appreciated, you see me? It only makes sense you just left a like on the video and share the video if you can. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and turn on bell notification to get notified on every fresh new upload. So until next time, be out.